if law enforcement is politicized, I mean, how much can you expect in terms of people's freedom? So it goes back to the point I made at the outset. We are operating with the wrong fundamentals. We're operating as if we have to prove to the state that we ought to be allowed to do what we should be allowed to do anyway as citizens. Even the point on the NIC, you know, why should I have to carry my NIC? I'm not a suspect. I'm not. Why should I have to prove my identity to anyone?
You just spoke about the fundamentals that they operate on. So the police ordinance was implemented in 1895. Why haven't these laws been amended?
I mean, they should be updated for sure, but let's leave aside the question of they should be updated. The fact of the matter is, the law is in plain, English. It's translated into the other languages. It's easy to read enough. I mean, it's easy enough to read and comprehend the fact that the law might say something very specific. Now, the police ordinance is very specific about the need to give prior notice before a protest. Now, how can someone take that word and turn it on its head and then insist on prior approval, right? And there are judgments if we want to, if you think of the word having different interpretations, there are judgments. There's a very famous judgment by the Supreme Court that's clarified that you do not need to get prior approval. So, leaving aside the fact that these laws are archaic, I mean, let's not forget that we used the quarantine ordinance from the 1800s to deal with a modern pandemic. And despite the fact that many of us raised the question, why aren't we passing a new law on public health emergency? It wasn't done. We used the quarantine ordinance, right? So we have a habit of